Hello everyone, welcome back to Coherence Tarot. This is going to be a channeled message and intuitive reading for your wholest and truest self. And we're just gonna get right into it. The Gemini new moon was yesterday, so we're going to be focusing on the ripple effects, some confirmation for any messages that you may have received yesterday, or how that new moon went for you, is going for you, and any maybe aftershocks you're feeling. I am a Gemini ascendant, and so it's really feeling like a new start for me. But yeah, okay. Tuning in. I'm hearing planting seeds. That's been just such a message for this collective over the last few weeks. Planting seeds. I also heard something the other day that I'm feeling called to share that is about bamboo. And apparently we're in bamboo season now. We just entered bamboo season. But the reason why bamboo grows so quickly, I believe it's 4 inches an hour, maybe it's 2 inches an hour, I forget what it is, but it's an insane speed, is because bamboo roots for 3 years underground. And so it takes a long time for all of those roots to ground, and you don't see all of the work, but then as soon as it sprouts out, it's going fast. Okay, current energy is 5 of Swords. There's some conflict. And I'm feeling like this is with people, with some external people. As always, take what works, leave the rest. Don't try and make the message work for you. If it's not for you, this should serve as confirmation, not prediction. But there's something external that you're battling. It could feel like battling your own reality, not necessarily people or communities, but some sort of material thing in your life that you're fighting with. If you're struggling with your job and you're wondering if you should leave or not, that calling in conflict. Or if you're struggling with, it could be a relationship, right? And it's you're fighting with your partner a lot, or you're fighting with your family a lot, and there's just conflict. It doesn't feel like it's internal conflict, but it feels like it's maybe because you haven't rooted. You haven't rooted for those 3 years yet, and you're trying to sprout too early, and it's causing that conflict because you don't know which way to go. Bottom of the deck is 2 of Pentacles in reverse. You don't have that internal balance yet. You need to step into that internal balance and keep rooting down into you, into who you are, in order to be able to meet any conflict or confrontation, which I don't think is an inherently bad thing. I think confrontation is really necessary. And we confront things all the time in our life. You confront happiness, you confront surprises. Confront in and of itself is not a bad word. No, nothing is bad. Everything is a message or a lesson, right? But you need to keep focusing on grounding into what your truth is. That way, when other truths are pushed up against it, you're not questioning or battling because it's well, I don't know what way to go. I don't know what the truth is. I don't know what XYZ means. Should I choose A or B? A or B? When if you really root into your truth, your intuition, you'll be able to listen to your intuition more as opposed to your anxiety. I want to get, this is tough energy. What's supporting us right now? Us, I, we, me, insert yourself wherever you fit in this reading. But what energy is supporting us as we practice rooting and going through these different conflicts, these external conflicts? I do feel like the conflicts are, it's not like it's an internal conflict. It's like an internal lack of grounding. And that way, when these external conflicts come up, it makes it harder to know how to handle. 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Also, if you're new here, I read reversals like the moon, whereas uprights are like the sun, not as in the opposite energy, but as in like internal subconscious energy. You really may be struggling with finances, but also the way you show up in the world and with your family. How you show up in your family. I know I asked for what's supporting us, but I just said you may be struggling with that. It does feel like maybe this external conflict is with your family, but okay, maybe here's what it is. The conflict is what is supporting you. You need to go through this conflict in order to root and ground back down. Yeah. Ten of Swords, bottom of the deck. You need to let these conflicts bring the Death card, bring the Tower, so that you learn this grounding, this rooting. And even though you may want to sprout and you may want the bamboo to be above ground and growing 4 inches in an hour right now, you have to put in the time and effort first when you're still underground, right? And any of this conflict that's coming up, again, in this material world, in the 3D, is for your internal growth and your internal benefit. You've picked a path, right? We carve our own path every step we take. And walls pop up in our path. Do you see that wall as a no or as something to build a door into, right? Like, how do you turn a wall into a door? How do you turn a no into a redirection, not a stop sign? And, you know, we have Saturn and Jupiter conjunct in, I believe, Aries right now. That happened a little bit ago. There is a lot of gunk that I think is kind of rising to the surface right now. Even the ripple effects of the Scorpio full moon, right? We are such in a time of upheaval, like tilling the soil, like getting everything loosened so that when we are rooting down, it is going to be firm roots. So trust that, I'm hearing divine timing. Trust that it's all happening for you, not to you. Everything is happening for you. And I don't want to make light of anything really difficult that anyone may be going through, especially if it is with your family. I know how hard that can be. I do. And know that all family is chosen. Even blood family. You have no obligation to anyone in this life but yourself. I am so lucky that I have family members that even if they weren't my blood family, I would still choose them to be my family. I also have family that is my blood family that I do not choose to be my family. And they are not my chosen family. And that makes life hard. It makes life complicated. But it has also been one of the most growing things in understanding what I need and what I deserve in relationships, and to be able to, and how to treat myself, right? It's the hardest thing in my life, is this thing that I'm talking about. It is also the thing that has given me the gifts and the skills that I am the most proud of. And 9 times out of 10, that's how the cookie crumbles, right? So it's happening for you. The conflict is the gift. But what is the gift in the gift, right? If the conflict is the thing that is coming up to help elevate us, or not even elevate, but like deepen and expand our understanding of self, to root, to ground. If it's helping us to root and ground, what are we rooting and grounding into? Why do we need to root and ground? What are we rooting and grounding into? What energy is this rooting and grounding into? What energy? King of Cups. A mastery over our emotions, right? It's really easy, especially with family stuff, for triggers to happen, to get emotionally reactive. My therapist says siblings know how to push your buttons because they're the ones that installed them, right? And I think that's true of your parents too. Anyone that was really integral to your early childhood life, they installed your buttons. And that's why emotions get so high and so low when we're with our family. And I think anyone who has experienced, going off and living on your own and then going back home and staying with your parents for a couple days, how you almost feel like you regress back to like high school or middle school because you're like right back in that same energy. Even if your parents have moved houses, it's not even that, but it's just being there. It just feels like you're a kid again, like you're a child again. And at least for me, don't let me project this onto you, but it feels like some of those old patterns will resurface because you're back in that same like cyclical energy. And it's just a reminder to pay attention. These emotions that come up, these messages that come up are emotions are messages, not promises. They're not sticking around forever. They're not true in that they're not capital T true. They're true in that it's what you're experiencing and that's valid. But like, you're not going to be sad forever. You're not going to be angry forever. You're not going to be disappointed forever. It's a message, not a promise. And the King of Cups has absolute control and balance over his feelings and emotions. He is like, I would say the Queen of Cups is more nurturing, empathetic, more emotional, like EQ, whereas the King of Cups is more reserved. He has like a tighter rein on his feelings. And I think this is asking us to be smart about who we let into that area of our hearts. One of the things that I say with my family, my chosen family that I feel safe with is that you know who your chosen family is because you feel like you can be the worst version of yourself with them. Not that you want to treat the people you love most in the world poorly, but that you just feel free and you don't have to like, oh, do you want to da-na-na? And you don't have to walk on eggshells and you don't have to like always like ask what someone else wants. It's just much easier to like, like, I want this for dinner. Hey, I want some space. Can you grab that blanket for me? And even though like the things I'm saying are just like very basic, but for me, so blatantly just like saying stuff like that feels like I'm being bad, but it's not. It's just authentic and it's just free. It's freedom. But sometimes feeling like you can be that quote unquote worst version of yourself is really just freedom. 333 on the timer. It's 1333. But as I'm saying this, but it's like, who do you have that freedom with and who deserves your freedom? There's a plane going by right now too. That freedom, that sense of expansion. Maybe part of this conflict is deciding who actually is deserving of that freedom, of your freedom to be authentic. Because not everyone in your life has earned that or is deserving of it. Those are very, very special people. And there's different parts of yourself that you do need to be careful who you open everything up to everyone. Like I said, with the members of my blood family that I don't consider chosen family, they're not my chosen family because I have to protect myself in certain ways. And that's just the reality, right, of that situation, that is actually unsafe for me to be fully free, like the airplane flying through the sky when I'm with them. And that's when I have to step into my King of Cups energy and be mindful of my emotions, be mindful of my reactions, and understand that I'm an adult. And when is it healthy and safe to to uncap that lid. And when is it time to cap it, to protect yourself, not to rein yourself in, not to invalidate your own feelings, but to protect those feelings and emotions because they're sacred and not everyone is deserving of them, even if they're in your family, right? And that's something that I think so many of us are told, like blood is thicker than water. It's your family. You can never abandon your family. And maybe it's just part of the messaging I received growing up in the South, but it's like, no. A human being is a human being, and you deserve the people who are going to honor the sacred you and the sanctity of your feelings and your emotions. Protect those tender spaces. And if that's part of the conflict, is that it feels like certain people aren't honoring, don't hear you, invalidate you, don't honor you, don't respect you, right? However you want to categorize that, it is not your job to try and change those people. It is your job to protect yourself. And yes, there is some duty in saying like, hey, that didn't feel good. Can we talk about that and talk about like boundaries moving forward and have a conversation about working on this relationship, right? Like, yes, those are good things, adult things that you should be doing. And this is not free reign to say, well, they poked fun at me this one time, and so now they're a toxic person that I'm not going to show up with my full free self with. No. I'm saying people who, after going through all the steps of like, hey, that didn't feel good. Can we talk about that? And you talk about it and you think you come to a conclusion and then it happens again. And so you bring it up again and you're like, that still just didn't really feel good. Do you remember that conversation we had? It's important to me that we get to do this. And how they handle those conversations are really important and really telling too. And then it happens again. And then it's like, okay, this is no longer about me. This is about you. And that's when you're allowed. You don't even have to like have some, if it's like a friend or a family member that it's like, well, I'm forced to see them, You don't have to have some sit down, come to Jesus and cutting you off conversation. You mentally cut the cord. And allow for their energy to stay separate from you. And just be mindful, put up your energetic protective barriers before you go into situations with them. Because that's, if it is family, sometimes we're forced to see the family that we have not chosen as our family. And that's what you have to do. You have to prepare yourself. And one tool that my therapist has given me, bottom of the deck is the Strength card. One tool that my therapist has given me is go into any situation with these people knowing and expecting one of these transgressions to happen. I have given my person 2. They get 2 transgressions. And the first one is like, okay, there it is, check in that box. And it's just like, it almost gamifies it to be like, oh, that's right, that's what this is. Okay, check in that box, there it is. Keep moving forward, and it's like, oh, there's a second one. Okay, yep, we knew that those 2 were gonna happen. When the third one happens, then I excuse myself, I go to the bathroom, I take a breather, and then I can either choose if emotionally I'm feeling like, yeah, I can keep handling this and restart my boxes, or say, I gave it the 3 boxes or checked the 2 boxes, and on the third, I took some space, or I'm going to remove myself and I'm going to head home, or I'm going to, remove myself from this situation. Whatever that looks like for you. It's been a helpful tool for me for cutting that energetic cord and making it so that when I keep saying transgressions because I don't, that really does feel like the best word for it, because it's like, well, you don't really know how it's always going to show up, right? Is it like, well, is it going to be a judgmental comment? Is it going to be a shoulder bump? Is it going to be a joke at your expense? It's like it could show up in all these different ways, but whatever that transgression may be, it's like, oh, okay, there's one. And you just check the box and you can move on. It allows it to feel less attached to you and less about you and more about that other person. Even though we know all of this is about the other person, it helps remind our bodies and our nervous systems of that. And I want to emphasize that strength was at the bottom of the deck right then, right? This does take inner strength, and I don't want to say that this is easy at all, and I don't want to say that I have mastered this. I've been in therapy literally for 13 years, and I still work on these things in therapy every week. And of course, other things too, but it's hard. It's hard work, but it's work worth doing. Okay. Wow. We have the Page of Cups and the Five of Cups. This freedom is about your inner child, right? And having the space to surprise yourself, like the little fishy jumping out and surprising the page here. Having the freedom to let your inner child be free is sacred, and not everyone's worthy of that. And making sure that you are the protector of your inner child means not that your inner child shows up all the time. It means that you create safe spaces for your inner child to show up. And even though in family situations, our parents are supposed to be the ones that protect us, that doesn't always happen. Sometimes they are the ones that hurt us. And they're the ones that you have to put protections up against for yourself. And that calls becoming the parent for yourself. And I'll say that's something that's been really empowering for me, is not thinking about things as, oh, well, I have to now be the parent for my parent. No. I have to be the parent for myself. And what parent does my inner child deserve? And that's the King of Cups energy that I'm going to step into, right? That parenting energy. It also comes with grief, y'all. Like, all change is grief. All change is grief. Even if it's not actually someone physically leaving this realm, anything changing means things are not staying the same, and there's something about that other way of doing things, that other mode of being, that we have to let go of. Even if we're happy that it's changing, and even if we're happy that it's shifting and it's going, you still have to grieve it. You still have to feel it. And especially if it is a relationship with the person in my life that I'm talking about, that is my not chosen family. I have been grieving that relationship, even though they're still alive and I still see them. And grief isn't linear, it's cyclical. It comes up, and even like I lost my grandma when I was 12, and there are some days where it's just like randomly like, oh my gosh, it just hits you. It's like, I thought I grieved this. I thought, it's like it's been 12 years, 13 years since I lost my grandma. Like, well, I thought that I'm good now, but it's like there are just some days that hit you. And even if a person isn't actually passed on, there are some days that things just hit you, and you still have to grieve and cycle. And so I still grieve this relationship. And while there was a really intense period of grieving with that one relationship for me, everyone has their own grief process. Let yourself feel through whatever that looks like. But if you do feel like you are losing a relationship or moving on from certain relationships, or even a certain community or like friend group or family member or family system, or however this shows up for you, or job, right? Allow yourself to feel all those feelings. It's okay to spend a little bit of time looking at the spilled cups. These full ones are here too. They are always there. The cups that are still full are always there. And once, there's the saying, no crying over spilt milk, but I'm kind of like, you spilt the milk. The milk is spilled. Yeah, we'll get a paper towel and clean it up here in a second, but also it's okay to go, damn. Now there's milk everywhere. That sucks. And feel it. Because if you just immediately run to grab the paper towels and mop it up, you're not giving yourself time to feel it. And you're going to spill milk again. You're going to go through it again. And it's going to come back up. But that is the gift. It's part of the seed that you're planting is, you have to prune the garden too. You have to cut things away to allow things to keep growing. I'm hearing what's a message from our ancestors. With this family work, you may be feeling really connected to your ancestors at this time. Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay. This is powerful, y'all. Whatever this is, it's big. We have two major arcana cards just came out. Your inner work is your golden ticket. Your ancestors are helping you turn this wheel internally, and they know it feels like heartbreak. You are so not alone in this. Oh my gosh, I'm right here with you. I'm right here with you. Oh, and they just want to give you a hug. Oh, they just want to give you a hug. Whoever, if you have any passed on family members or feel connected to certain guides or spirits, they love you so much. I'm covered in goosebumps and I'm just feeling warmed through like the feeling of someone. I'm seeing memories of my grandma, who is like one of my ancestors that comes through so strongly. So it's going to be, you're being so supported right now by these people. And they want to give you the feeling of pancakes on a Sunday morning, watching cartoons, like your inner child being taken care of. They want to help you take care of your inner child, and that is the key. As you feel this heartbreak, they know that it's heartbreaking. They don't want you to go through this heartbreak, but they're with you as it happens, because we all know that it needs to happen. And yeah, sometimes it doesn't feel fortunate. It doesn't feel like the jackpot. It doesn't feel like the lottery. But when your heart breaks, it breaks open so that you can feel and expand and experience more. Heartbreak is necessary. And you are so loved. I hope, if you get nothing else from this video, no matter how alone you feel right now in this physical 3D realm, you have so much family. You have so much family. You do not even know the family that you have that is right there with you right now. Judgment card. Bottom of the deck. Whatever this conflict is, and it feels like a person, feels like someone in your family. That's kind of what the message is saying. But of course, take what works, leave the rest. Judgment's coming. It's coming. We're all going to reach that day where our name is called and we have to take stock of our actions. Were we proud of what we did? Were we happy with all of the steps we took and the actions we took and the way we treated other people? And that includes how we treat ourselves. This other person, you don't need to take care of what karma will take care of. You don't need to take care of what the Wheel of Fortune will take care of, right? You need to take care of, when you put your head on the pillow at night, what is going to feel like you did justice to yourself. That's your only job. And putting your head on the pillow at night, we go through this little mini reckoning every single day. How did I do today? How did I show up? How did I take care of myself? How did I treat other people? We go through it a little bit every single day. That's the thing you need to be thinking about. Not how to... This is coming from your ancestors. Your ancestors are like, we got this. We're taking care of this piece for them. Don't you worry about this. That will get taken care of. You focus on you, boo. You feel the heartbreak. Know that the wheel is turning. Sit with it and feel. I like want to hold them like this. I don't know why, but feel and know that you are loved. Know that you are so loved. Okay, any final messages here? Two of Swords peeked up open, but then went back down. Any of this conflict, there was like the confusion, like lack of balance inside. Hopefully this reading gives you some insight into that, right? Like the Two of Swords energy, I don't know which path to choose. It closed back down. You're moving in the direction of, you already know, even when we're in times of confusion, your heart always knows, your gut always knows, your consciousness always knows. Sometimes it's just hard, right? A lot of times it's just hard. Okay, final messages. Ooh. Seven of Swords and Knight of Swords. Don't betray yourself, but know that as soon as you step into letting yourself feel these feelings, stuff is going to start moving quickly. I almost feel like it's like, the word betrayal is coming up, but it's like whoever this person is that you're struggling with, they're going to tell on themselves. Again, with the Judgment card, you don't need to push anything. You just need to do you. They're going to tell on themselves. Let them tell on themselves. You don't have to protect them, but you don't have to set a trap. That's not who you are. Just be smart, right? Use your higher intellect wisely. Take care of yourself and let the pieces fall into place as they will, because they will. Nothing that is meant for you will pass you, and everything that you want wants you so much more. I just keep hearing you are loved, you are loved, you are loved, you are loved. It's like, I just want to give you a hug. That's what I keep feeling. 33 on the timer as I say that. Threes may be really significant. We keep getting threes, which is the number of like co-creation, right? You've got this. I know it's hard. Death on the bottom of the deck. It's gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. You always will. I love you. You are so loved. When in doubt, feel into your love. Feel into that love. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me today. Thank you for being here. I hope that this served in some way, and I hope you feel like you are living more coherently. Until next time, love.